Hello everyone, welcome back. It's another Friday with Dannphan. I hope you all are having a great week so far. Perhaps Adam might be joining us, I guess we'll see, but yeah, overall, it's been a good Friday. I wish I got more work done, but the day is not over yet. And the weather outside is delightful. Delightful spring weather, that's what I like to see. We've been going back and forth when it comes to like wintry and then springy, and it's been irritating because I don't know what clothes to ever wear. But we got a good day today. Perfect weather outside. So let's enjoy it, shall we? How's everybody doing this week? Got a few relatives that graduated. That's fun. Congratulations to them. Are you excited for Pride next week? Oh yes, I'm ecstatic. I am absolutely ecstatic for the new Pride comics coming from Marvel and DC. Oh man. So next week's video, I guess I was supposed to have like the Avengers Academy video up this week, but I had to do a review, so I pushed it a little bit. I hope you guys forgive me. But yeah, so next week I'll have up the newest Avengers Academy video once I get to work on that, and then after that we can focus on the Pride Month issues, and that'll be fun, of course. Does anyone else actually cover the Pride Month issues besides me on this channel? To be fair, I didn't cover all the Pride issues. There's still plenty of Pride issues out there I have not read. And same thing with the Women of Marvel. I think I've read most of the Women of Marvel on the channel. There's only a couple of them, right? At least only a couple, like, iconic ones. But yeah, certainly needed it after pretty much rained for all of Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, it was pretty gloomy, wasn't it? Not the best, but now we have the sunshine, so I can enjoy that, I guess. I'm getting set up. Hello, hello.
How's chat doing?
Chat's doing A-okay. How are you doing?
Doing pretty alright.
Yeah, I didn't cover last year's Marvel Pride. I mean, I still could, since June is coming up, but I think it's probably makes more sense to focus on the newer issues, I guess, to stay relevant. Yeah, ooh, special guest. Here comes Adam. Here to chat it up with chat. Looking forward to the gaming events for early June. Alright, exciting.
Yeah, you know, video games are in a weird space, because, like...
They're hit or miss, right?
Well, no, it's because of the price of AI, like the AI raising the price of computer parts. Consoles that have already been manufactured are a lot cheaper than buying like a new computer. So
console making a return.
Yeah, but when it comes time to do a new generation of consoles, they're gonna be like $1,000, so it's not gonna be like viable.
Yeah, true enough. They play themselves now.
Yeah, so
there's some of the walking simulators out there, for sure.
Yeah, like popped in on a random stream and some guy was talking about like looking for deals and like buying games, and he was like, oh, I got it on like Xbox and I didn't really like it, but now that it's coming out on PlayStation whatever number, I'm like, ooh, and it's like...
That's gonna make it better now. Now it's gonna be good.
I've heard people say that with like PC, but it's like, how much better could it possibly be on a PlayStation? Because everybody like who streams on like PlayStation games, they're always like, oh, should I put it in performance mode or like graphic? Like what? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard something like that.
Yeah.
The Steam Deck already doubled in price. Jeez.
Yeah, because I think they've done a few Steam Decks, and I think the recent one had taken so long to get together that all the parts were paid for before the AI price hike, and now that like everyone is buying up all RAM to jam into an AI data center.
Oh god, these data centers are just a blight on humanity. It just sounds so horrible.
Yeah.
I think the Switch 2 is like $450 plus, and PS5 and Series X are like over $600.
Yeah, but those prices are very low. Because,
in comparison.
Yeah, so like the cheapest part of making a computer used to be RAM. Like, you know, back in my day, there'd be the 5-cent store, not the dollar store. No, but like,
of course.
RAM was like $1 a gigabyte of RAM or whatever. It's like, it'd be 16 gigs of RAM would be 2 sticks of 8. And then that would be, like, they would come in a 2-pack, because you always need like the 2 sticks or whatever. And that would be like $16, not behind any case or anything. It would just be like, buy the checkout at Micro Center. It's like, oh, finished putting together your computer. Oh, I forgot RAM. Yeah, let me pick that up right here. And it would be like nothing. And then it was so easy to install more. And there was like the kind of thing where people were like, oh, how much RAM does your computer have? So people would buy a bunch of RAM and like, it would be like the thing. It was like, oh yeah, I just bought like 16 more gigs of RAM to upgrade my computer. Like those extra slots, you stick them in. Now RAM is $10 a gig, right? So like 32 gigs of RAM is like $320. So a 10x price increase. And then Bitcoin made graphics cards shoot up.
Just forgot to plug it in.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. It's just one of those things. I'm already like so tired just because I had like those s'mores clusters thing. I think I'm just straight up having a sugar crash.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. You want the sweets so badly, but then you pay the price afterwards.
Yeah, I saw a funny post where someone was like, my dad swears by the study method for taking tests where you eat 2 Snickers bars and then chug a Red Bull before the test. During like finals week, his dad would always give him like $20 a week for Snickers and Red Bull money. And he'd swear by this like method.
That's just straight up superstition at that point.
So like finally he did it. He took his dad's advice and tried it. And he was like, it was unbelievable. I aced all my tests. But then he found out like years later that both him and his dad both suffer from low blood pressure.
Oh.
So like the reason that you have a sugar crash is because like the sugar like kind of squeezes all your veins. So like it like just the energy you get is just your veins getting like squeezed so the blood flows through faster. And then when you're tired, that's like your veins relaxing and your blood just not getting to everything as quick, and you're like, oh.
That's what I'm suffering
Which is
from.
like, sugar crash used to just feel like this very abstract concept, but now that you're tired because your blood isn't getting to your brain as fast, you're like, oh, maybe sugar is like really bad. That seems highly concerning.
Your dad's prescribing potions and buff foods to his son.
100%. Just,
He knows all the secret ingredients.
Yeah.
The game sheets.
Red Bull is kind of like a potion. It tastes so weird. It's like...
It has a very unique flavor. I'll give it that.
Someone was telling me what the flavor is, but I don't remember what it was supposed to be. It tastes good, I guess, but it's like very unique.
I mean, anything with enough sugar in it, I guess will taste fine.
Well, it's not the sugar necessarily, because there's like sugar-free Red Bulls, but
Yeah, but they use like artificial stuff to make it sweet.
I don't know. The sugar-free Red Bulls are terrifying because they make me extremely tired.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's the opposite.
Yeah, I don't know what's in the sugar-free thing that makes you so tired, but it must have some like cursed, like demon blood for a sweetener instead, and like it's like just draining my life force.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The most tired I've ever been driving was like, I took a sugar-free Red Bull, and I'm like, oh. And what was weird is you're extremely tired, but your heart is beating very fast because you're like trying to drink more caffeine to get more energy.
Interesting.
Yeah. So your heart's like thundering while you're like, you know, being knocked out.
Because I guess like the issue isn't with like the blood,
Yeah.
it's with something else.
Yeah, it doesn't taste sweet, so it's kind of weird. I wonder what it is that's in the.
Some horrible concoction.
Yeah,
that
there
they're
must
brewing
be-
in their witch's den.
There must be a sweetener in it, but I would be totally fine with like a super bitter, not sweetened energy drink that just like gives you the energy and like
That's coffee.
has like a tangy taste or something. No, I don't like the bitter taste. I like sour stuff. So
Oh,
like,
okay, sure.
you could just have a sour drink that just doesn't have any sugar in it, and I would be totally down for it.
Right, yeah. I mean, I guess that's why people settle for those energy drinks that are like super sour.
I bought just like caffeine powder from like a health company, but it was like extracted from green tea, and you can really taste the green tea. So I was trying to like mix it with like lemon juice, but you just taste like sour green tea, which like didn't.
It didn't mix well.
Yeah, it didn't pan out. It just wasn't. It wasn't the energy drink for me. It was just.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Sprite is sour with caffeine. Well, I don't know.
Shit ton of sugar.
Yeah, shit ton of sugar.
Sprite doesn't
and
have
every
caffeine.
like soda, I guess.
I think Sprite is the one that doesn't have caffeine.
It depends. I mean, I think for a lot of sodas, they make them caffeine free also. But yeah, I think traditionally maybe Sprite didn't have caffeine. Maybe they changed that.
I don't know. I know my brother always got it because it didn't have caffeine.
Yeah, right. It would say on the can, of course. Because yeah. don't want to give kids super caffeinated drinks, then I guess they would give them Sprite.
Could it be the case that if you add caffeine to Sprite, it tastes sour? That would be so alarming if like it had that much of a
Another
reaction.
alchemy
another
ingredient to add to the list.
Yeah.
So, what is new this week? Well, I guess I did that one comic review. It's funny because I posted the comic review. When I did that video, I didn't even realize that guy was a YouTuber. I usually think that I know like what the indie comic space looks like online, but even so, there are still blind spots that I completely miss, and people that I just never get recommended through this horrible algorithm that we all have to deal with.
You get like a tunnel.
Yeah, it's very, very isolating nowadays. Like, because in theory, I should be hearing about like all these different indie comic creators that are generally in the same space as me, but never heard of this guy until after like I recorded the video and everything, and I was like, maybe I should have like said his YouTuber name in the official video, but I guess it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, he did like a stream later where he talked about the review that I posted. I was a little bit worried because I'm not sure how people take criticism, especially when like he's a big YouTuber guy, but no, he had a really good attitude about it, actually. I think he's more in the mindset similar to me, where it's like, I want to know if something's wrong with it. I want to know honestly what people think about it. I need the criticism, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good headspace to be in, especially if you want to improve going forward.
Yeah, people that get mad about criticism typically are people that don't, like, they don't want to improve, or they think that, like, improving is, like, beneath them or something.
Or they think they don't have the capability to improve. And they're like, well, this is just how it is, and you just gotta accept it. But, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think most people, when they, like, contact me for a review, usually they know that I'm gonna be, like, honest in the actual video, and maybe sometimes funny, but, yeah. You know. There's always that chance that someone who's never seen my content before is just like, oh, I hear you do the reviews. I'll pay you for a review. And then if they get a negative review, they might just be angry.
I don't know. I think that's stupid. Like, if you're gonna be getting someone to review your stuff, you should look at their other reviews and see how they
go about it.
Yeah. And if you're so desperate for reviews that, like, you'll take anybody, then you kind of have to just take what you can get.
Yeah, for sure. To be fair to him, he has said he kind of wanted Cyberpop to stand on its own and not necessarily be a YouTuber product. I think that's what a lot of people want, because they want to be treated more legitimately as just, you know, if that's what you want to do, if that's the career path that you want to go down, that's what you want to be known to, content stuff. In a lot of ways, I think people start doing YouTube content so that they can continue to pursue what they're actually passionate about.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to essentially start a business or start a brand. Because when you're doing indie comic stuff, you are essentially selling yourself and your writing, your art as a brand. And that's difficult.
It's hard, too. Like, I don't know. Like, because you have to... Yeah, I mean, the standard advice is, like, get an audience some other way and then pump it into, like, what you're trying to do.
That's where a lot of people have found their success, nowadays anyways.
Yeah.
It used to be obviously very different, but...
But if you're good at, like, a YouTube thing, you're not necessarily going to be good at, like, the other thing.
Yeah, and that's something that I kind of struggle with, is just, like, juggling... like YouTube skill and then also comic skill, because I'm trying to get better at both, but you know, it's difficult when you have a split.
So I could admire that guy trying to, like, have a quality thing, like, in parallel to his YouTube thing.
Yeah, absolutely. As you should, I guess. Critiques are so rare nowadays, for me at least. Yeah, well, especially with comics, because comics is such a niche category on YouTube. People rarely ever cover a lot of the comics, even when it comes to Marvel and DC, unless it ties in to, like, the movies, or unless there's some drama over the comic. They usually just... most media channels in general on YouTube are just not covering it. So, the fact that I still try to cover it the best that I can... goes to show, like, how niche of a category it is when I'm not exactly exploding from those videos.
Yeah.
But, you know how it is. Did it ever actually happen for a person to pay you for a review and get angry afterwards? Not yet. I guess it could happen. It has not happened yet. Maybe the most that I've ever gotten was maybe like a sassy comment from, like, the person who did the comic, but that's about it. And that's fine. Everybody has, like, a sassy moment, but it's alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking criticism isn't easy, but you have to be able to do so if you're truly passionate and want your work to become popular. Very, very true.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard. Writing in general is hard. I hate it when people act like writing is just this easy thing anyone can jump into and be good at. It's like, oh, so long as I'm not stupid, I can write well. And it's like, well, it's not that easy.
Yeah, it's like, for some reason, writing is one of those things that people delude themselves. I mean, from my perspective, I see the most people out of anything in the world, people are the most deluded about their writing ability. Where they think that they can write, like, because you do it all the time throughout the day. You're texting people, you read stuff on your phone, you write stuff on your phone, and so you think that you're, a writer.
You think you're well read.
And then it's just like people will just write stuff that like is like just incomprehensible. Like the amount of like absolutely atrocious writing that I've read.
Grammar mistakes and like all these different like awful sentences that are non-sentences, and I've encountered quite a lot of just like basic writing mistakes with some stuff that I've reviewed. Typos are a given, but a lot of indie content kind of has typos in it. At this point, I've lowered the bar when it comes to pointing out typos, and I'm just like, yeah, sure, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, a typo is like, that's a whole, like, that's fine, whatever, someone can't spell, like, that's fine. Like, that's not even, like, there's writing that's just so bad, like...
Yeah, the content itself tends to be, like, the worst of the problems.
Did I ever show you, like, my dad's, like, soap company,
You never showed me I know what you're talking about, though.
That was absolutely heinous. Just, like... Yeah, my dad has a soap company. He used to have a partner in the company, and like that guy wrote like a blurb, or his wife wrote a blurb or something for the like about us section, and it was so incomprehensible. And I read a sentence and I'm like, I want you to tell me, I like talking to my dad, like, I want you to tell me what this sentence means. And he's like, well, it could mean probably a lot of stuff, like, writing is an art. And I'm like, no.
That's bad. It's not supposed to be up for interpretation.
If I can't read the paragraph to figure out what we are about in the About Us paragraph, they're going to assume we're from another country and we can't speak English. Because this is like it's completely cracked. Like the whole page was a disaster. And it's like...
Oh my god.
I think it's like... I don't know why anyone would assume that if they spend their whole life being an engineer, making soap or doing business stuff or whatever, and spend zero time learning how to write and like write well, and never ever print out something they've written and sit down with a pen and mark it up themselves to see where it could be better. I don't know why someone like that would ever assume they know how to write, but somehow people do that. And it's like the most...
Well, especially when we now live in an era where there's a lot of bad content coming out, it's very easy for someone to compare themselves to other bad content and not, have that self-reflection.
Like you're the average of your 3 closest friends, and it's like, well, I'm way better than everything on TV, and it's like, all right, I mean...
The bars, you're setting the standard very low, though, so you are also going to be of low quality if you're constantly comparing yourself to other low-quality people.
Yeah. Like, I was really happy when people were so upset about the end of Game of Thrones, where they were like, this is so poorly written, and I'm like, oh my god, you noticed. Oh, you can tell. I thought that they would just jingle the keys and like make explosions, and you'd be like, wow. But now people cared.
Yeah. And now people are kind of like acting that way towards The Boys. They're saying that The Boys ending is Game of Thrones levels of bad. Oh man.
Oh, and thanks for the compliment on my snowy owl shirt.
Yes, it's classic. Yeah. Let's see. A friend of mine actually told me how hard can it be when it comes to writing. I almost stopped talking to him after. Yeah, it's the most frustrating thing that a non-writer can say to a writer, right?
There's some like Greek philosopher that has this thing he said about about like skill, and he's like, if you can't tell how, if you get to a certain level of skill, and then once you're at this peak, you can now look back at where you've come from and realize how bad you were, and then how much further you have to go, because you can see the depth of how good you could be. Like once you get to the certain understanding, so unless you can understand that it's hard, you're so bad, you're not even like, you're so far down. Like if it doesn't seem difficult, you're so bad at it. Like like and that goes for like anything. So
yeah, no, I totally get that perspective. I pretty much gave up on a comic because of almost zero verbal feedback. I got the views, the likes, and follows, but rarely any comments. That's really frustrating too, when you're making content and it's just like being given into the void, but there's no feedback to be returned to you, because then you don't know like what you're even doing wrong.
Just the shrug and it's good. It's like,
yeah, that's always the worst. Let's see, I actually have tried to regain my grammar because it's been a while since I've taken lessons. English is not my first language, as you may already know. Gotcha. Yeah. That's definitely very challenging to, like, one thing to try to write, but then another thing to try to write in a language that isn't even your first language. That's definitely very scary.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, season 5 of The Boys was bad all across the episodes. So I have heard. I heard it was just like a straight drop as it went season per season when it came to The Boys. Very different from the comics, also, from what I understand. But,
yeah, you know, like my grandparents on my mother's side, they passed away, and at the like sort of recently, I guess within the past like year, and I was talking about Papa, my grandfather, and how he would always give like real honest feedback about stuff, and then like my mom and my aunt were like, oh, you know, and it's like, this is why you're bad, because you can't take the feedback.
Because you don't like the honest
This
feedback.
is why Grandma was a master chef that could have been a chef in like restaurants, because she liked getting the feedback and you don't. That's why your cooking sucks. Both of you in the trash. Get out of here. Grandma was amazing, and it's because Papa would tell you. I cooked something for Papa. He's like in the nursing home, you know, barely, like, you know, he's like barely hanging on. I like cook him brajol. I use the best ingredients I can get my hands on to give me any edge I can. I'm like, come on, you know, just try a bite. And he's like not eating, right? Mm-hmm. And he tries it, you know, and he goes, He goes, first he goes, and I'm like, hey, that's a pretty good review.
For him.
Yeah, from Pop-Up. That's pretty good. I mean, this is like the third time I've cooked it. So, I mean, I can't be that good. To already be at like middle of the road, that's amazing. I'm a master. to have already gotten, you know. So, but yeah, that's how you get good, is you have to be able to take criticism. And you also have to, this is the harder thing, you have to recognize what criticism is valid and what isn't, because, you know, you can't just listen to everything everyone says.
Yeah, you definitely have to take things with a grain of salt, because not everyone will understand what you're going for in the first place. Yeah. So you have to like apply your own perspective to what other people.
Yeah, like if you take a writing workshop, for example, there's gonna be 20 people in the room. They're all gonna give you feedback. All 20 people, I'm sad to say, they're not all going to be genius writers and give you good advice. Some of them are going to be really stupid.
They'll also give you wildly different feedback, depending on like what they personally thought of it or what they personally liked from it. And, you know, sometimes part of it is just like knowing how they felt during certain scenes or what certain scenes accomplished for each person to person, if they understood what was being read in the first place, because really, for a writer, the first step forward is just being legible, just so people like understood what was even happening in the first place.
Yeah, like, you know, if you start to get a feel for like the different people in the class, you'll start to understand like where their critique is coming from. I got a criticism once that was like, it felt like I was just throwing out vocabulary words to try to seem smart.
Whoa.
And I was
what
like,
kind of words did you use?
the thing that she mentioned as like, or is it a he? I can't remember. As like the pinnacle of like, this is, you know, this is so ridiculous as vambrace. Like,
What?
I'm like, that's just like, what am I gonna say? The armor around his forearm? Like, it's just a vambrace. Like, it's just like, I don't know, man.
That's way too fancy, Adam.
Like,
You're using the proper name for...
you know, and you just have to use the vocabulary words when you're writing, because like, you know, you can't just show people. There's, you know, they have to understand it quickly, or it really thickens up the piece. So it's like, I don't know, I just have to write vambrace. I didn't think it was that dense in like vocabulary words. It's just like, you know, vambrace. But then, you know, you have someone else who was like, yeah, I had to look that up, but that's, though I read with a dictionary next to me, I don't think it's any great like burden. It's an undue burden on the reader. If you're going to read something that's about medieval things, you need to know medieval words.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if you, even with any other, like, media or comic or whatever, if you see a word that you don't know, by all means look it up, because then you'll learn something new, and then you can say that it's educational comic because it helped you learn something.
Yeah,
and
like,
then media mail.
Yeah. And then everybody who knows about a certain thing, they will have their own vernacular. And then if you're going to write a character that is one of those people, like an uncle of mine was talking about, he was sawing stuff that was like plexiglass, but he called it something else. And I don't know what he called it. And I was like, what is that? And he was like, oh, sorry, it's plexiglass, like transparent, like plastic. And I was like, yeah, he was, and I was like, no, don't apologize. What was the word? And I completely forgot. I don't know what he was saying. It's the brand that's really common in like whatever like hobby he was doing, where he was sawing bits of plexiglass. Like it was like what people in that hobby called it. So if I was gonna write about whatever the hell he was doing, I would have to figure out what their vernacular is. And like firefighters, they say, we say the jaws of life, the thing that pries you out of the car. It's a brand, and they call it by the brand name. I can't remember what the brand is either. But like, yeah, I'm not writing about firefighters, so I don't need to know.
It's like how they call them Band-Aids.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually just the brand name.
Adhesive bandages.
Adhesive medical strips.
Yeah.
Of course. Let's see, I'd say one of the hardest parts of writing is figuring out how to even start the story, especially in a way that gets the audience invested immediately. Definitely very difficult. I do kind of like the manga approach to it, where it's very character-oriented most of the time. Yeah, obviously, it depends on the series. But usually they start by getting you invested in the main character. You know, they give them a nice backstory, they have some emotional motivation for them. And then, like, a chapter 1 for a lot of manga series, it ends with them having, like, a motivation to go on some sort of adventure. And that gets you excited, like, oh, I like this guy, so I want to see him go on that adventure.
You don't think they're selling you on the vibe first? I feel like
It depends on the series, right? But
yeah.
I guess I'm speaking generally. A lot of shonen manga, it kind of feels like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like what Chainsaw Man, they spent a lot of time with the one character before showing anybody else, and that's a good move, but I'm trying to remember what the very beginning was, and I feel like it was something explaining how poor he is. And like kind of with that, you know.
They make you feel bad for him.
Right. And starting a character in a low point is a great way to get people to sympathize with them.
Yes.
That's like a cheat code.
Classic go-to method for a lot of people, of course. Not that you always need to do that, but that is definitely a formula. Let's see, in your opinion, why don't some bad creators know they have to improve? I can't look at bad art and call it good.
Art is like so easy though, because like you can look at it and
it's
be like,
not as easy if you're the artist, because you have your own bias that will tell you something is good when it's not actually good. You know, there's like people who will draw something and in the moment they'll think, man, this looks really good, and then years later they'll look back at it and it sucks. They're like, oh my god, I can't believe I drew that, it looks awful, because they're able to actually see what's wrong with it, whereas years ago they just couldn't see. And that is very true for a lot of people who've just started writing as well. They don't have the experience or the knowledge to know where they need to improve because they can't see the mistakes. They're art blind, I guess, is a way to put it, or a way that I've heard it described.
Sometimes writing people, like, they don't know what they want their style to be. So
that's another thing.
They don't know what good is yet.
Yeah, it's the same thing with art. You know, if you have no direction, nothing to model yourself after, you're kind of going all over the place then. But yeah, for sure. A lot of shonen don't all follow general tropes. Not a guarantee. Yeah, everything is a little bit different depending on. Sometimes bad ego may be the case. Perhaps there are definitely some people who think that they're already good enough to succeed, and therefore they don't feel any need to take feedback because they're like, well, it doesn't matter what other people think. This is my vision, and you guys just don't get it. You don't understand my genius, or whatever they say.
Yeah.
I can't think of an example like right off the bat, but there are definitely other indie creators who have been accused of having this attitude where whenever they get any feedback, they just say, oh, well, you're just saying that because you're a hater, or you're just saying that because you don't understand my genius, or you don't get what I'm going for, you're stupid. But it's like, if they don't get what you're going for, that is kind of your fault because you're the writer. You're supposed to have it be legible what you're going for.
There's some people that it just was never going to be for them. Like, they were just never going to like it.
Yeah.
And if someone's giving you, like, critique, and then that's like, you can get to the bottom of that, it's like, well, Right.
I mean, if someone doesn't like fantasy and you wrote a fantasy story, obviously you can't expect them to like it.
Yeah. Like, I gave someone, like, the first chapter of Treading Water to read, and they didn't like passive voice, and so, they call me to give me their feedback on the first paragraph, which is in passive voice, which is a very kind of zoomed out way of, like, narrating, and then it goes into, like,
what the characters are thinking.
Yeah, so like it's a way of kind of, if you think about like a comic book that starts and you see the zoomed out like city that they're in, and then it zooms in on them. It's like that idea, but for like writing. But he hated it and wouldn't read past like the first paragraph, and it's like, well, it was never going to be for him. Like, it was just
doomed. Yeah. It's a very particular thing to decide that you don't like when it comes to novels.
Yeah. I mean, he'd read another story of mine that started the same way. And I was like, well, why was that different? He's like, well, because. It's like,
great feedback.
all right, well.
It's a mystery. You gotta solve the puzzle. Yeah.
That's kind of the thing with feedback a lot of times, is like they don't know.
They themselves don't know why they didn't like it.
They might know if they like it or don't like it, but they don't know why. And maybe they don't even know if they like it or not, because sometimes it could just be shit's going wrong in their life and they're just mad.
Yeah, totally. Is this about like the art thing? Can confirm that I've had people give me advice on pencil shading, not realizing that I need to be able to color my work eventually, which means too much shading can actually hurt that process. Yeah, well, there's a lot of dense learning when it comes to both art and writing. It's a lot to figure out, and I do expect people to take multiple years to become like really good artists or really good writers, and obviously if you excel at it, then good on you, but a lot of people have maybe somewhat of a bad attitude with accepting the fact that it's going to take them a couple years to get better. Yeah, I guess part of that is just time anxiety. They feel like, well, if I'm not good at it right now, then doom, it's all over. But you kind of have to be willing to dedicate the time to get better at something.
Yeah, I mean, you can also get practice in ways that you don't expect, like DMing or something, you know, like because you're coming up with a story when you're running like a tabletop game. Yeah, that is kind of like writing in a way.
Doing RPGs and whatnot.
Yeah, like playing RPGs. If you're playing the RPG and you're coming up with, you're role playing, so like you come up with a character that you're playing as, and then you make decisions based on this character you've decided on, instead of just like that's, you know.
Well, it's a good thought process in general to have when you're writing actual characters.
Yeah, that does give you like this kind of experience in writing without realizing it.
There are some writers where they'll just have a character do whatever is convenient without considering, like, well, would they do this?
And class,
would they react this way?
What is that called? It's everyone's favorite like writing thing.
What do you mean?
Well, that what that concept is called is you can tell when the writer wants something to happen for the plot because someone will do something that they wouldn't necessarily do. And that is called
Hand of God.
Yeah. Hand of God.
Deus Ex Machina.
Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, for sure.
If you can see the hand of God manipulating things in the story, then you've made a mistake. Now it's like a sci-fi thing. Deus Ex Machina, like my hand is like a cyber hand. I can see the hand of the creator making cyber limbs.
There's a anime called Deus Ex Machina, right?
There's a game, Deus Ex. I think it's just Deus Ex. It's like a retro game, and then they remade it more recently. It's, Mankind. Human Revolution, then Mankind Divided was the sequel.
No, okay.
But
smart characters written stupidly is one of the worst things. Yeah, totally get that. It's kind of difficult to write smart characters for like multiple reasons. You have to, if they're like detectives, right? You have to make sure it makes sense that how they would know the answer to the mystery in the first place. You have to actually have them collecting clues and.
Are you thinking L from Death Note?
Well, I never finished Death Note.
Oh, okay.
So keep that in mind. But
okay, yeah,
I think obviously like people enjoy like the older Sherlock Holmes types of stuff, and Detective Conan is not bad how they write a lot of their mysteries. I think most of the time it's pretty reasonable how he figures it out, but sometimes it's just like they pull out this information from nowhere. It's like, how the fuck would you even know that? And they're like, I just guessed. I just had a hunch. It's like, that's not smart.
It's easy to write smart characters because you have all this time. Like, you have all this time staring at the page to, like, have them think the right thing or say the right thing. To write someone to make a mistake that's believable is pretty hard. But, like, I've like written stuff in stories and had people make a mistake and realize it while I'm editing, and then I, like, make the decision, do I have them make the mistake or not, like, you know, get information wrong that, like, I know isn't like that, but, you know.
Right. And sometimes I'll also do the same thing, because it's like, I can have these characters explain what information is, like, true here, but would they know about it? Probably not. So it's better to, like, have them half explain it, or, like, you know, get like one detail right, but then one detail is a little bit off. And then more characters can always be introduced to correct them on that later. and inform the reader, of course. But you know. Greetings, late to the stream, so let me say hi while I catch up. Oh yeah, we've mostly just been talking about writing for this stream, it seems. But I guess there's a lot to say about it, especially because a lot of people in the chat are like also indie creators, indie writers, so there's some interesting conversations to have there.
Yeah. I don't really draw, so I can't add anything to that.
Not to the arts section, at least.
Yeah.
Would you say Detective Conan is written well, like with its smart characters, mysteries, and all that? I think it's written competently. I mean, Detective Conan is very long, so I haven't seen all of it, right? And a lot of the filler episodes I just skipped entirely. But from what I have seen of it, it seems competent, and a lot of the mysteries, I would say, are believable. The thing that's like the least believable is how long the series is and how many murders these main characters come across. It's just astronomically like...
Yeah, like they're on vacation, someone murders someone on vacation. It's like
on the road while they're driving back from vacation. It's like, really?
It's like, chill out. Like, they make the prevalence of murders in Japan seem like there's
killers everywhere.
You know, every day of the week there's a new murder. It's like, oh my god. You know, if I was writing that, I would definitely add in some museum heists and...
Yeah, no, they have other mysteries in Detective Conan, but the murders are the ones that, like, people tune in for the most, so that ended up being the majority of the mysteries in the show.
You said that his publisher or whatever was like putting pressure on him to write more. I would have added in the funniest troll would have been adding in like a financial crime, like something really boring. So, oh, you want me to do another one? Well, how about this one?
Yeah, perfect.
You move my deadline? Now we're talking about tax fraud.
Well, I think part of the issue is he had like some ideas, but it just kept on getting rejected by the editor, and so he was like redoing a lot of work. And then at some point he was just like, "Fuck you, I'm going on vacation."
Is that the guy that went to Vegas?
Yeah, he went to Las Vegas for like a week and then came back, and they were like, "Oh, we'll figure something out. Please don't leave again." That's a pretty funny story. The stream today is pretty much for the inspiring creators. Yeah, right. I guess so. Lost in Space reboot has one of the worst smart characters I've ever seen. Everyone around them was just unbelievably stupid. Oh yeah, that is one of the things that I notice about how people think that you write smart characters and just make everyone else around them really dumb.
Sometimes when someone writes a character like that, you could just tell how stupid the writer is. Like normally you can make a character way smarter than you are by like taking your time with it and whatever, but sometimes a writer will just write a character exactly as dumb as they are. It's like...
Yeah, it can be a really big pain in the ass from a reader's perspective if there are too many really fucking dumb characters. It's part of the reason why I stopped liking, I stopped watching any horror movies, because so many of those, like, slasher films especially, all the characters are so dumb. And it's so frustrating to watch them. Even watching them die is frustrating, because they die because they're dumb.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I can't do it. It's so... Other people have this perspective where it's like, well, it's satisfying to watch them die because they're dumb, and you want to see them die. But, like, I find the whole entire experience frustrating.
Some horror movies, the characters are smart.
Some.
I feel like Evil Dead, or Evil Dead 2 or whatever. He's pretty smart.
Yeah, you know, there's obviously like Alien or Predator where they fight back against the monster, and I feel like those are usually pretty good. But I'm more so referring to like trashy ones, I guess. The ones that they just like pump out just because it's Halloween and I gotta pop something out for the season.
Yeah, Predator was good. It was a good movie.
Yeah,
It's good.
It's solid.
Crazy hot take over here. Predator was good, but yeah, it's pretty solid.
It is actually pretty good. Genuinely.
Maybe like later on it gets a little bit like, I don't know. Maybe like the later on stage of it is kind of like dragged out. Like, I don't know. Like where he's like naked in the jungle for like a long time, like trying to like kill him with like traps and stuff.
Yeah, I don't really remember, but I remember enjoying it, of course. It's got 80s pacing, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
Because they did used to do pacing in movies very differently depending on the generation. Even like looking at new movies today, the pacing is usually very, very fast and ADHD like even.
You know what kills me about it? The whole 80s pacing thing is like they will never do an adaptation of Tower of the Elephant that fits like Tower of the Elephant better than they would have done in the 80s. And they skipped this one scene where like Conan is like fighting a spider and it's like really slow and like the spider's trying to wind him in a web and like, you know, running away, and he just has his sword and, you know, he's like and it's like really slow, and then he picks up a chest and throws it at the spider and smashes him. And I'm just like, oh, that's nice. But like it wasn't in the movie, but it was like reading it felt like an 80s movie scene, like how slow it was and how things were described.
Yeah, it feels like that's something they could do too. They just chose not to.
They just skipped it, and I don't know why, because it was such a compelling little scene. And I was thinking like you could never do it in a modern movie, but that really feels like very 80s how the
Yeah, for sure.
Tower of the Elephant is the Conan the Barbarian short story that the first movie was based on, where there's I think it was the guy turned into a snake. No, he climbs a tower.
There's a tower in
of the
there,
elephant.
confirmed.
And there's like I think there's a gem somewhere in there that like an elephant statue is holding, and that's why it's the Tower of the Elephant.
Classic. Spice and Wolf did a money laundering fraud plot really well. Yeah, Spice and Wolf was another one of those like kind of slow shows, so I guess it makes sense for that kind of series for sure. It was a very relaxing series. I'll say that much. It was relaxing. It was intriguing. A little bit, perhaps, you know, pompous in some sections, but I did enjoy Spice and Wolf when it first came out. So I totally fall under the nostalgia category when it comes to that anime. Plot-induced stupidity. Yes, I hate that for sure.
Do they ever have a Conan movie where they throw their staves at him and have him turn into snakes?
I don't know.
Because that's a thing in it's in one of the short stories. Like he corners this like very dangerous sorcerer, right? And he throws his staff at him, and then he's like, oh no, the staff turns into a snake, right? He's like sweating, cold sweat, because Conan is like scared of magic. He's like, oh no. And then he just throws his sword at the guy and like hits him in the chest and like, what the like, and then dies. Like the sorcerer's like, how did he think of doing that? And yeah, I don't know. it's again another.
Oh man, the classic Conan stories are great.
Just a very like 80s like. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Actually love the action horror genre, especially the Monster Hunter genre. Oh yeah, for sure. Those are probably like some of the better ones for sure. I guess both Alien and Predator fall under those categories when I think about it that way.
When I think about Monster Hunter movies, I'm just thinking all the really bad sci-fi original movies. The Sci-Fi Channel original movies, like. Oh, do you not know? Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, what a world! What a world I'm going to introduce you to. There's these movies where they just don't have the budget to like have a monster exist.
Oh, okay.
And oh man, it's like some of them are so bad. One was just called like, God, was it Manticore or something? And then they're like,
they fight a manticore?
Yeah, but they're like soldiers in Iraq, and it's like. I don't know. There's just I don't know. They're just not. They're just. It's just pain.
Okay.
There's so many of them though. There's this one movie where it's like there's this fish that like it can go on land a little bit or something. It's like this little like slug looking fish. And they're like, what if they had razor sharp teeth? And then a bunch of teenagers went on vacation on this like island, and then the slow like slugfish were like inching up towards them.
Okay.
And
It wasn't interesting.
it's one of the better ones, but it was
I mean, you could, in theory, do something interesting with that, but yeah, like slow monster enemies can be fun in a way. I guess nowadays they don't typically do those. A lot of new zombie stuff, they just make the zombies walk normal and fast sometimes.
I think that's such a weakness of like writing and like directing and like scene composition that you can't make a bunch of slow zombies like
intimidating.
Yeah, because fast zombies, people are thinking about they're imagining the world works like a movie, and so this one scene where the zombies running at them is a scary scene, but it's not a scary scenario. If you zoom out and really think about how the scenario would work if you were in it, why wouldn't you just grab a smoke detector, hit the test button, and throw it down the street? Now you're safe. You're safe forever, actually, because every zombie in the whole city is going to run to the smoke detector. Like, if you think about like Left 4 Dead, where they have the smoke detector attached to a pipe bomb, and they just throw that, and like it kills a bunch of zombies. That would kill an incredible amount of zombies if the whole city was fast zombies, and they're all sprinting to your smoke detector. Set a 5-minute timer, and within 5 minutes, all the zombies in every building ever is going to like pile onto the pipe bomb and then explode. And pull out a second one. I mean, it's, just keep on. And then the U.S. military has eradicated all zombies. We win. Like, it's just...
Right.
So...
You need a game plan, guys.
If you have slow zombies and they're kind of shambling around, you have a lot of opportunities for mistakes. You have a lot of... you have to be very tactical if you have this, like, massive horde kind of, like, ambling around. Maybe it's better, and you can save your ammo, to just go through the horde, because you can weave your way through this one. You can see a gap here and a gap there, and maybe you kill one guy here and then go through. And, like, there's just this kind of... But if you make a mistake, all of a sudden you're surrounded because you tried to save your ammo. But if you just shoot all your ammo out, you'll run out, right? So you have to pick your battles, and then you don't know what you're going to see later. You don't know where the zombies are going to be. So, there's, like, tension that you could do with it, but it's just easier to have a bunch of guys sprinting at the camera and then go, wah! But it's just,
Yeah. Not even just for, like, movies, but also, like, games. Sometimes it'll feel like that. But yeah. I guess that is the hour for the day. Anyways. But... for sure... This was an interesting stream. We got to talk a bit about writing, a little bit about horror movies for a little while. And yeah. There's just gonna be, like, obviously new stuff coming out at some point, but I'll keep most things secret until, like, we have something solidified. Yeah. Your hours are too short, Dan. Well, it's just one of those things, huh?
Yeah.
A lot of people, man, some of these streamers, they have so much energy. I have no energy, especially right now. But some of them can stream for like 5 hours straight, and by hour 5, they're still like yelling and jumping around. Like, what are they on? I need some of it.
Coke and caffeine, probably.
Yeah, probably a combination. They're slipping in some Adderall into their ghost energy drinks. But anyways, that will be the hour for now. And maybe there will be more streams coming up soon. Maybe even some gaming streams. I don't know. I've been playing some Monster Hunter recently. That's been fun. There's a lot of grinding involved in that. I wanted to play with Adam, but his won't work.
I uninstalled it. Maybe I'll reinstall it and see if it works.
It's one of those things where it crashes to desktop as you're trying to open it, and it's just such a pain in the ass because nobody can really help. They're just like, I don't know, it just started working again. I had this problem, but it just started working.
I looked at the Steam forums, and like someone was like, I have this problem, and then someone gives some like stupid solution that wouldn't work, and then they're like, I don't know what I did, but it works now. It's
yeah.
Like, okay.
So apparently something along the lines eventually made it work. But yeah, so next week you can look forward to the newest Avengers Academy read through, and then after that we can focus on the Pride stuff and maybe get back to more of the regular comic reviews. I'd like to do a follow-up video, I guess, for the reviewing manga by YouTubers. I have some manga that I have not read through yet, but once I do, we're gonna get another manga YouTuber review video, and that'll be fun, I think. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope you gained something of value from our discussions, or at the very least had fun. We'll see you next time on...
Yeah. Thanks for having me, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.